Well, all right now, people. We had a little accident in the wood yard today. Well, a few days ago. It's been raining, but I had a firewood stack fall over. Now, it's not clear whether an animal caused this or whether it was the rain or wind or whatever. I'm not sure, but what I can tell you is that once your firewood stacks start getting up over about 4 or 5 feet, after they start getting up over about this tall, I mean, you can feel them. When you're reaching up to stack firewood, there's a good chance it could fall over, because you know that wood also shrinks as it dries a little bit, and it'll shift around on you, and all of a sudden one day it'll be all tumped on the ground all down through there when you walk outside. So that happened to me a few days ago. I just looked out the window, and right in the middle of my wood pile was a big section of it had just fallen over. So like I said, a squirrel may have jumped off of that up into the tree and caused it, or I could have had a deer that rubbed on it or something. I get some deer in my backyard. I'm not sure what caused it, so I can't say that it was just that it was too tall, but I think it certainly is too tall regardless. It's just I'm cramped for space here, so I go really tall with my wood, and it's not always a good deal. It will fall over. So if you're considering that, if you have small children around or you're stacking wood around your house, I wouldn't take it up much past about 4 feet or so to be safe, and always make sure you kind of check on it. And it seems to always shift as the wind blows and it dries, so that kind of stuff happens. Now I'm gonna have to get out here and just clean this up. I'm gonna put it right back where it was. I have quite a few stacks that are too tall. In fact, under my porch it goes 8 feet high all the way up to the ceiling, and that stack fell over on me last year, and I've already caught it 3 times. It's wanting to lean in at the top. It's just the top layer just keeps leaning in, and I don't know why that's happening, because the prevailing winds come from the other way, where it would be pushing it back into the wall that it's on. But regardless, that one, it might fall too, and I got to be careful because I got all kinds of lawn equipment under it and my window and everything. So be careful when you're making your firewood stacks. Anything over 4 or 5 feet, it starts to get too tall. Do as I say, not as I do, because I'm cramped for space, and I just go high I try to pile as much wood as I can, and I go a little bit too high, and I try to save the odd stuff that's small or square, or what the weird shaped stuff. If it's curved, I try to put that stuff on top of the pile so it stacks better. Because if you get all that weird stuff in the middle, it just doesn't stack real good. Take your nice square, your even pieces, and put in on the bottom of the pile there. The longer pieces on the bottom, the shorter pieces on top. Now I do all that, but I still had a pile fall over on me, and I'm not convinced that that's going to be the only pile that happens this year. So stay tuned to the channel and watch as the year goes on, and I may have some more accidents, because I got a pallet. It's an 8-foot pallet standing up on the end, and it broke in half, and it's got wood stacked all the way to the top of it, and it's on a hill. I got some messes out there, so there might be some big piles to clean up, and I'll make a video about them, because hey, I mean, it's just something worth talking about. It's something different that happens. So if I get a big mess, y'all can just laugh at me, and I'll be playing pickup sticks all year. But we'll see. I'm going to go out here and get going on this right now. So don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate having y'all around. If you do subscribe, make sure you watch the videos. I got 16,000 of y'all, and I'm showing in my statistics that only about I think less than 10% is subscribers that are watching my videos. So maybe hit the notification bell or whatever, but I'm not going to bore y'all with that. Thanks for being here. Let's go out, and I'm going to get this pile cleaned up. I'll show you what's all over the ground. All right, now, good buddy, this is the first thing that was on the ground. I noticed this little fellow was hiding out, and if you watch my videos all the time, that may have been the same one that was on my porch a few weeks ago. But here's my wood pile now. You can see what a mess it is. It's really leaning hard. I mean, that thing is ready to fall over, and it is on a hill, and there's a couple feet in between those piles. So a few of these pieces I'm going to throw in in between there and kind of get some weight off the top. Let's get to it.
I woke up, I tossed and turned.
All right, now I came back inside. It's 85 degrees outside today, and I kind of waited till it was in the shade out there, and it still is the hottest part of the day, but I was in the shade. So if you came here to learn about stacking firewood, just remember what I said about the height. That's pretty important. It will fall over, and the wood does shrink and shift as the wind blows and it dries and that type of thing. The other main points you want to remember when drying firewood is the more direct sunlight it can get in, the better. The more breeze that can get through the pile so we can breathe and vent off all that moisture is better. And it's probably nice to keep the tops covered if you can, just the tops, so the rain doesn't get pounded and soaked down into the pile. Now I don't really mess with that until winter time when it could snow on my piles, but some people do that year round. Now I did have one area, I'm sweating. I did have one area, I put a big tarp over it, several sheets of plastic on the top, and it was doing more harm than good. It's in kind of a shady area, but the first time it rained, I thought I was doing a real good thing, and I put several sheets over this whole big square area. It's probably a 15 by 15 square, and I got wood all down through there. Well, when it rained, it leaked down underneath where all those layers overlapped and everything, and just the condensation from the air and everything. There was water droplets up underneath the plastic on top of that, and it wasn't going away. It was just, the water got all in underneath, in between the top of the plastic and the wood, and that wasn't going to do any good either. So that's worth paying attention to. If you put plastic on it, make sure it's not collecting water up in there. I'm not real sure why that happened to me. I think it was because there was multiple layers of plastic. So I think that rain just kind of ran in between the 2-ply plastic there and ran in, and once it got in, then it just the heat hits it, and it just all of that condensation blows up inside there, and you don't want that either. So I went ahead and I took that off, and it's in a shaded area like I said. So I'm going to let that dry on its own, wide open all year. I've had that out there since February, so that's going to be my first cut stuff. It's the shadiest area. Let that dry the longest. But there's a few tips for y'all, so at least make it worth your while for sticking around till the end of the video today. Keep that stuff well ventilated. Keep the sun on it. The more sun and wind you can get on it, the better. Don't stack it too high. I'll see you guys next time.